The 12th round of the 2024 Formula One Championship delivered another photo finish, with Lewis Hamilton fending off a relentless charge from Max Verstappen to secure a remarkable victory in front of the home crowd at the Silverstone circuit. The British Grand Prix was chaotic, with 5 drivers contending for the race win, and the final order remained uncertain until the last lap. This British Grand Prix highlighted Formula One's recent shift away from the Red Bull, Max Verstappen dominance. The resurgence of McLaren and Mercedes, coupled with Sergio Perez's struggles, keeps the Constructors' Championship open, a rarity in the past decade. This situation prompts an analysis of the 2024 Formula One competitive landscape, exploring the technical and regulatory factors behind it based on telemetry data. A simple look at the gaps between the race winners confirms the initial hypothesis, except for the early Asian rounds dominated by Red Bull. In subsequent races, the gap between the winner and the second-place driver has significantly decreased, even falling below a second at the Imola circuit. This trend has continued for the past 5 races, with 2 notable features. Firstly, the diversity of teams and drivers competing for victories. At Imola, Barcelona, and Canada, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen were the main contenders. In Monaco, it was Charles Leclerc versus Oscar Piastri. Austria saw the battle between George Russell and Oscar Piastri, while in Britain it was Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. This scenario, with 4 teams and 8 potential winners, hasn't been seen since 2012. This year, there have already been 6 different winners from 4 teams in the first half of the 2024 Formula One season. 12 years ago, there were 8 winners from 5 different teams. For many fans, 2012 evokes nostalgic memories, and this year's similar trends are promising. The reduced use of safety cars or red flags enhances these close finishes. The safety car hasn't been deployed since the Canadian Grand Prix, with only 4 instances across 12 races and 2 red flags. This leads to smoother races, highlighting the driver's pace, tire management, and pure performance. For statisticians, calculating average pace or percentage gaps between similarly performing cars in minimally interrupted races will yield smaller differences. The recent trend is technically driven. Teams have mastered the ground effect cars in their 3rd year, learning how to maximize performance, leading to technical convergence that narrows the gaps between teams. A similar situation occurred at the end of the 2017 to 2021 cycle, and it's likely that this year and next, the final season under current regulations, will see performance gaps close further. The allocation of computational fluid dynamics and wind tunnel hours, inversely proportional to championship standings, accelerates this process. With the reduced importance of the car, the difference now lies in the driver's skill and the strategic decisions made from the pit wall. The Silverstone race was decided by the right call at the right time. It seemed like a straightforward race for Lando Norris, but a delayed call by just 1 lap negated his slight advantage. The wrong choice of soft tires allowed Max Verstappen to close the gap on hard tires, while Lewis Hamilton's masterful management of the same soft tires kept him ahead of the Dutchman. Hopefully, the remaining 12 races of the 2024 Formula One Championship will continue this trend, offering unprecedented excitement and possibly a close fight for the Constructors' title. The Silverstone round concluded the first half of the 2024 F1 season, 12 rounds that therefore saw 6 drivers and 4 different teams claim victories. Initially, Red Bull's dominance suggested nothing had changed from the previous campaign. However, the natural performance convergence under stable regulations and the unexpected vulnerabilities of the RB20 have made the races more exciting. Yet Max Verstappen's ability to maximize results has made a difference, even without the best car. This, combined with the constant changes in Verstappen's main competitor, has allowed the Dutchman to progressively extend his lead over the nearest rival, currently Lando Norris. Despite Red Bull's development process never stopping, their performance plateau should be a stimulus for the competition. However, the team that has shown the most potential since Miami has been squandering the chance to compete for the championship titles. We are, of course, talking about McLaren, which could and should have done much better at Imola, Montreal, Barcelona, Austria, and lastly, at Silverstone. Nonetheless, Norris's gap to Verstappen is significantly smaller than Perez's, despite the same number of races. Furthermore, there are still 12 races left this season instead of 10. It seems that the Woking team has reached a technical leadership position they did not expect, and Norris still lacks something to lead the team effectively. Meanwhile, the world champion benefits from the situation. The Dutchman understands that with the available resources, the title will come through consistent performance. The second place in England was almost like a victory, as it allowed him to extend his lead in the standings, despite his pace being clearly inferior to the Mercedes and McLaren drivers at various stages of the race. Despite the RB20 not being as dominant as its predecessor, Max has scored only 59 points less than in the 2023 season. Red Bull's competition risks remembering this season as a missed opportunity for various reasons. For McLaren, it's the lack of experience and aggression needed to aim for the highest stakes. Regarding Ferrari, the season's performance has been mixed. Quantitatively, the season-on-season balance is positive, with 2 wins and 302 points in the constructors' standings, 111 more than last season. However, the SF24 has been dominant only in Monaco, while Carlos Sainz's win in Australia was aided by Max Verstappen's early retirement. The qualitative assessment of Ferrari's first stint in 2024 is marred by a performance decline coinciding with the second update's debut. The updates did not deliver the expected results in practice, leading to a return to the previous spec after comparisons. This setback has dashed Ferrari's title hopes, with Carlos Sainz admitting that 3 months of development were wasted, while the competition did not stand still. The hope is that the latest update can be reused, understanding the problem's nature. Mercedes' wins in Austria and England should be taken cautiously. Without the tussle between Max and Lando, which effectively took them out of the victory fight, Russell would not have won. Similarly, the British Grand Prix was run under conditions historically favorable to Mercedes, with low ambient and track temperatures allowing the W15 to operate its tires within the correct window, benefiting from changing conditions. Hungary and Belgium will reveal if Mercedes' resurgence is due to car evolution or favorable circumstances. In the 2024 Formula One constructors' standings, McLaren's leap forward is rather incredible, even considering the team's significant improvement in the second half of the previous campaign. Aston Martin has returned to its 2022 levels, with 128 fewer points in 2024. At the same stage last year, Lawrence Stroll's team was still in third place in the constructors' standings, thanks to a stellar start to 2023, with Fernando Alonso regularly fighting to finish on the podium. All signs point to an exciting second half of the 2024 Formula One season. For this scenario to materialize, Red Bull's competitors must consistently maximize their potential and keep updating their cars, as the Austrian team's cars seem far from unbeatable. Hopefully, Ferrari will also be able to come back stronger after understanding and fixing the recent problems caused by the latest aerodynamic package introduced on the SF24 single-seater in the Spanish Grand Prix.